Hey there, Stacey Corneludi with Egypt to Canaan, lesson 14 today. Find your mojo. We know that the Israelites did not have mojo. When I say mojo, I'm kind of talking about an authentic enthusiasm. I like to think of it as the combination of motivation and joy, right? People with mojo have motivation. They're able to sustain a high level of motivation in their life. They have joy, unspeakable and full of glory. There's some energy about them that just doesn't seem to fade. And so it doesn't come from coffee, you guys. You can't get it from coffee. And you can't get it from green juice. You can't get it. I mean, it's good to take care of your body. And when you feel good, your energy definitely is higher. But mojo is deep. It is a deep, abiding energy that just doesn't go away. And if it does drop, you know how to tap back into it. And so that's what this lesson is about, is how to find your mojo. Life brings all kinds of surprises, and we don't know what's coming, especially for the believer. We're not guaranteed tomorrow. We don't know. And we can't trust in that certainty that a lot of people kind of find their security in. We don't always know what tomorrow is going to bring or if we're even going to have it. And so living with mojo is important. And Joshua and Caleb knew how to do that. And they were only two. They were the leaders that led, the Israelites through the wilderness into the land of plenty, into that promised land, but they didn't make it in. Only Joshua and Caleb made it in, and there's good reasons why they made it in, and we can find all of those clues. Success leaves clues. We can always look back and say, what are they doing that they are not doing? There are things that we can do that can help us sustain higher levels of energy, motivation, joy, focus, all of these things in our life. And so I hope that you read this lesson. I hope that you get something out of it. It's very valuable. When we look at the word enthusiasm, years ago, I won Teacher of the Year from my school district, and I got to go to this conference for all of these teachers that had also won Teacher of the Year. It was phenomenal. It was in Los Angeles. But one of the things that really, really stood out for me was that they were talking about the traits, the characteristics of successful teachers. And one of them was enthusiasm, and they defined enthusiasm. And I was always known as an enthusiastic person, but I didn't value that. It's just the way I am. And when they began to define what enthusiasm really is, it kind of blew my mind. And this is all it is. It comes from the root word N-E-N, which means in, and then theos, T-H-E-O-S, which is God. Theos is a word that refers to God. And so when somebody is enthusiastic, that is like a connection to the God within. And I just thought that was so revealing, right? The people that have mojo have this authentic enthusiasm. They have a connection to the God that dwells within them. And God came to live inside of you. When you received him into your life, he really did come in. And so somebody with mojo has evidence of that divine life within. And so that's what we're talking about. How do we stay connected to God's life? Because God's life is absolutely high energy. It's absolutely joy. It's absolutely love and all the fruit of the Spirit. It keeps you focused. It keeps you purposeful. It keeps you connected to the reasons why you're here and who you really are. And so on page, I'm not going to tell you what page, because as we know, this book was edited many times, so our pages might be different. But when you're trying to find your mojo or connect again to your mojo, you go through these questions. You ask yourself, who am I? You remind yourself, who am I? I'm the very body of Christ. I've been sent here for a very real reason. And I was sent to this family, to this place, to this time. All of it, it's on purpose, for a very real purpose. Why am I here? Because I have some stuff to do. I have some very good works to do. I have some heaven to bring to the earth. I'm going to bring things to the earth that don't currently exist, because I am just that unique, and so are you. When you understand the kind of purpose that you are designed and destined for, it kind of fires you up a little bit. What do I have? Remind yourself, what do I have? It's so natural to start looking at what you don't have, especially with social media and all the things that we have in life to compare ourselves to one another. The minute you begin to compare yourself to somebody else, your joy is gone. So stay away from the comparison, you guys. It's like crazy, crazy, crazy. Nobody can be you except for you. So what do you have? What can you do? That's where our focus needs to be in order to sustain the higher level of motivation and joy that we need to in order to do what we're here to do and to live a happy, fulfilling, meaningful life, right? Where do I want to go? That's a question that really deserves an answer. It's really important for you to ask yourself, where am I going? Where do I want to go? If you don't have some kind of a destination in mind, some kind of a vision, then you better learn how to be content right now where you're at, because you've already arrived. If you don't like where you're at, you got to change it, right? You got to see something different for yourself and get serious about seeing something different and write it down. Write that vision down. See that next destination that God has for you. He has buried all this stuff in your heart, you guys. You don't have to create it. You don't have to make it up. It's inside of you. Just spend time listening, getting really quiet, and discover the amazing things that are already woven inside of you, that are buried deep in your heart, however you want to say that. And then the last question is, how will I get there? How, God? He's got the how. We talked about that last week. How is holy. And God knows how you're going to get from where you are to that next place. So don't worry about the how. Just continue to seek him, and he'll show you that next ordered step, that illuminated path, that way that you are to go. It's so amazing knowing that you've been sent for such a time as this, that you have a very real purpose on this earth, that you are connected to such amazing work that's happening in the earth, and only you can bring you into that picture. As the Father has sent me, I also send you. It says that in John 20:21. So this is just, of course, a really important lesson. I always say that. There are things that we do without realizing it that kill our mojo. And that is at the very end of the lesson. It goes through the mojo killers. And I have gotten testimonies about this one little it's 2 paragraphs, but this one page has really rocked some people like to the core, shaking them up a whole lot, because we fall into these 3 things: compromise, complacency, and conformity, without even realizing it. And if you find yourself in any of those 3, it's really, really a wake-up call, kind of a warning to stop what you're doing and step back a little bit and ask yourself some questions. Get reconnected, because none of us have been sent to this time and to this earth, to these people, to our families for nothing, and it's really easy to just get complacent, get into a place of compromise, and just begin to conform to the world. And God said, he wants us to be transformed. Transformation comes by the renewing of our mind. It comes by reading the Word. It comes by spending time with like-minded people. It comes by challenging ourselves to get quiet and alone and discover the treasure, the greatness that's buried down deep, and step out by faith and begin to do the things that we're here to do and be who we really are. We really are, period. Be who you really are. You don't even know who you are. I don't even know who I am until I step out by faith and begin to believe God for the crazy, audacious things that I feel impressed upon my heart to do. So I don't know strength until I expect myself to be strong, right? We don't know until we step out and believe that we have what it takes to do what we're called to do. So complacency, compromise, and conformity will murder your mojo. Complacency is a subtle form of hopelessness that bows to circumstances, naysayers, and haters. Compromise devalues your life, and conformity stunts the powerful creativity that builds confidence and delivers you to the world. So those 3 things are what I'm challenging you to look at in this lesson. So I hope that you'll do that. The antidote for all of these things is courage. And you have faith and you have courage. You need courage in order to walk by faith. So God would never leave you without courage. If he's given you faith, he's got to give you courage, because it takes courage to walk by faith. So I hope that you enjoy this lesson. Reach out to me. I say this every time, but I love this journey, and I would love to support you as you sojourn. So I love you. I'll see you next week for more. Only love, joy, and peace.